You should comment.
Thank you.
Minister of Finance.
Big up the whole of hot water. Hey, we even not dash water. You might talk about even pot water. Hot water. Big up that data. Big up myself, father. And I don't love and love alone.
Hot water, Massive and crew. This one is special for you because why now? So much financial things has been going on since Hurricane Melissa, and this big loan to come and these loans that have been lent. The Prime Minister states that we'll hear from the Finance Minister, but I guess we need to hear back from the Prime Minister because the Finance Minister, what she's about to say or what you are going to hear, she's saying a lot of it does not add up or make any sense, or a lot of these information she is going to give us is not accurate, my people. Many people might get angry, anger might stir up watching this, but people, just hold it now, man. Let us get into video, my people. Stay tuned. Hot water, Buzmal Orion. Hot water, people. In recent times, the Prime Minister states that the Minister of Finance will meet or conversate with the IFI and IMF officials for a conversation as it regards to loan interest and some other financial things regarding Jamaica. Now, people, we are going to hear from the Finance Minister, but for me, she's talking blah, blah, blah. Let's see if you guys can understand or comprehend.
And in each of those, the rate would be different. International partners, very low single digit. Domestic market, single digit as well. International market, single digit. So if you were to average that across the entire portfolio, it still comes back to a single digit number.
Yeah, Madam Minister, single digit can vary from 10 to 9. So I'm asking if you can give us a ballpark, a range of where the average interest rate would be. Range of where the average interest rate would be.
Alright, so remember, just to direct you, there is a publication that's done. It's called our medium-term debt management strategy. This one goes from fiscal year 2025 to 2026 to fiscal year 2028-29, and it goes in great detail about the loan portfolio. And as I flip through the pages, you will note that on, let me get to it. All right, so if we look at our domestic interest rate, it's about
So these are yours.
all right, so remember, it goes anywhere from a low of 3.3% to 8.5%, depending on the instrument and the market in which we borrow and the currency.
All right, so thank you, Minister. As it relates to the 3.6 billion US dollars, approximately, that's what, 500 billion Jamaican, is any portion of that to be in this supplementary budget?
in this fiscal year's
None of that is in this fiscal year. If I can go back to the 24 billion for JPS, how would that impact the liquidity and the ability to implement projects going forward this year into this budget?
How would that impact the government?
Yes, to the housing, the water, the food packages, the removal of that 25 billion in a loan to JPS, how would that impact the budget's ability?
It does not. We have ample liquidity to manage what we set out to do this fiscal year.
Okay. What's the estimated impact of this 3.6 billion on the debt to GDP ratio moving forward?
We're not gonna take everything on our books all at once. We will be very careful about the drawdown on these facilities that are available to us. As you can imagine, these facilities are to enable us to do big projects that would add to the GDP growth. These projects are going to be over 1, 2, maybe 3 fiscal year.
Yes.
So there will be a time frame over which these loans would be drawn down as the projects.
So considering so first question, did the Prime Minister misspoke when he said that over 3 years we'd be doing the drawdown? Did he misspeak?
The announcement, the headline announcement was 3 years
Yes.
from our international partners. But remember, it's going to depend on the pace of government.
So it might not be
Right.
3 years.
It will depend on the pace of government.
Okay. So do we have any estimate based on different scenarios over 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, what will be the impact on the debt to GDP ratio?
We've put forward so in our fiscal policy paper memo, we have put out some estimates of
Yes.
where the debt to GDP is expected to be after we hit the 68.3% this year. We are expecting recovery, as we've seen with other disasters. If you look back on Beryl last year, within 2 quarters, we were able to begin to see economic recovery. I'm not saying within 2 quarters we will see that with Melissa, but there is expectation that GDP will begin to grow again. And together with the capital spending that we need to do and the drawdowns, those have been worked into the estimates that we put out.
Can you give me that estimate, or is it available?
Right. So we have some preliminary estimates in this medium-term publication as we concretize the projects, and we know the life cycle of the projects, and we know the drawdowns. Those will be reflected in numbers in the future. But these are our preliminary estimates that we lay out in the fiscal policy paper interim report.
And at its peak, what is the debt to GDP ratio based on your estimates? What's the peak debt to GDP ratio?
68.3%.
So after the addition of the loans, we expect that the growth would be sufficient to maintain a debt to GDP ratio of 63.8%?
68.3% at the end of this fiscal year 25-26, by the time we get to the end of it. And then as we go forward, we're expecting recovery in our GDP. We are expecting projects to pick up. We're expecting economic activity, and you can see the trajectory for our debt to GDP in these papers. So we're expecting to begin to see a decline again in the debt to GDP.
So based on your estimation, over the next 5 years, the debt to GDP ratio should not be greater than 68.3%?
That is our early estimate.
What is the growth rate that you have used to make this?
People, I'm not going to hold on my mouth on the ground and speak, you know. These people, you ever watch some cartoon yet when people is leaving out of town or running out of town and they get a little stick and a little bag, or I should say cloth, and put them belongings and pack up and put it on a stick and leave out of town? Yes, definitely, my people. Some of these people need to pack their false documents and leave out of town, leave out of the House of Jamaica, leave out of Parliament, leave out, just leave. Because it's pure nonsense them talking, and none of those documents or portfolio or whatever they write up don't seem to make any sense, my people. You see, for me, I'm going to be honest, I don't think she knows anything that she's speaking about, because even in some aspect or sometimes I hear Mr. Crawford has to be correcting her. You get me, my people? So I don't know. You see, I know from election times these people never have any plan. They never, to me, it seems that they were just, because they were in power for a good while, they just comfortable. Not doing any work, not doing anything. Now, how is it that Tin Man state that in 3 years' time, it will take us back, you know, to build up back the GDP or have everything balanced out? Now she's giving us a different statements. Now she's letting us know that it probably will go over more. Nothing is sure. From 0 to 9 are single digits. She cannot surely state what is the loan. So I want to know, how did she meet? So why have you come now speaking and you're not sure? So I want to know if she had already met with these people to conversate about the loan, the interest rate and all of that. And she's not fluent and accurate in anything that she's saying. Just like the ADPEM man. They are not fluent in anything. They are not sure. So I guess Jamaica is unsure, and then nothing is sure. Nothing is sure. That means anything is possible to reach us. And as far as I am concerned, and I can see, this loan that is going to be borrowed, this loan is not to aid in Melissa recovery. No, it's for something else. And I don't know who is going to stay here and work hard, work off their back hard to help the government to pay so much tax, to help the government pay back this loan that has nothing to do with us and nothing to do with the recovery. Because I totally don't think this loan have anything to do with us, based on how I see things going. Because if we got money to aid us, then why are we borrowing a loan? We got so much money that could help the people. Why are we borrowing a loan? That loan is totally something different. And people, I know enough people is planning to run away, you know, or fly out, as them would say, because I don't know who. Let us hear a little bit more filthiness from our garbage that is gonna be speak from the mouth of the finance minister.
Expected growth rate to make this estimation?
Okay.
All right, so member, over the medium term, in terms of real GDP growth, we're looking at 0.7 next year, 3.1, fiscal year 2027-28, and 1% fiscal year 2028-29, and that's the real GDP growth. Obviously, nominal GDP growth would be different numbers.
So our estimation, if we take the full sum loans, are that rates of growth of 3% or less would be able to keep us at 68.3%?
No, we're not going to be kept at 68.3%. With the hurricane this year, our estimation that we will end this fiscal year 2025-26, which comes to a close at the end of March of next year, that when we look at our debt to GDP, then it will be in the range of about 68.3%, primarily due to the decline in the GDP.
Okay, let me correct my question. Are you suggesting that it's going to be 68.3% or lower at rates of growth of 3% or averaging that 3%?
Yes, we're expecting it to be lower, remember.
Okay. Now, we have also seen in the fiscal paper that there's a target of 60% by 2030. I figure you'll be taking that today as well. However, have you done any estimates on the level of surplus that we'd have to sustain to achieve that?
All right, so member, or preliminary estimate to achieve a 60% debt to GDP would be by the end of fiscal year 2029-2030.
Do you have an estimate of what the surplus levels would have to be?
So, member, as you can imagine, as we move forward, we will have greater clarity in terms of the growth from the various sectors that have been decimated by the hurricane. We'll have greater clarity about agriculture, about tourism, about the business sector, just about growth in general. But sitting here today, we have to look into the future and give our best estimate. Those estimates are subject to change up or down as we get greater clarity in terms of our growth rates, as we get greater clarity in terms of the projects requiring spending, and as we get better clarity just about the needs coming from the ministries, departments, and agencies.
Okay. There was enrolled in the grand announcement of $6.7 billion, a private sector loan of $2.4 billion. I think US dollars. I think MP from where Julian is from again, Southeast St. Andrew had asked the question, is this dependent on the appetite of the private sector for loans?
I would say yes, but also
that's why I stop answer you.
Recall that there are many projects that government may need to get done, that it could enter into PPP agreement with the private sector and so on. So it's government and the private sector working together in terms of the priority for that part of the loan.
And I don't think I got the answer. Is it dependent on the appetite of the private sector, or is it something that government can also participate in?
Right at this moment, it's earmarked for the private sector, but as I'm indicating, there are big projects that I know government would love to get done that it could do in collaboration with the private sector. For example, it could be structured as a public-private partnership.
So in the case of a public-private partnership, is it that the private component is the only part that can come from the 2.4 billion, or also the government's involvement can come from the 2.4 billion?
The 2.4 is for the public sector.
Is for the public sector?
I'm sorry, for the private sector.
So if there's a public-private partnership where the government is spending $1 billion and the private sector is spending $1 billion, can the government also benefit from this 2.4, or only the private sector component?
Remember, at this moment, the 2.4 billion would be coming from the private sector arm of the multilaterals.
So it participate. Now the Prime Minister have indicated that there were previous projects before Beryl. Were the previous private entities, and didn't they already identify capital if there were previous agreements?
Minister, if you could, member, if you could add a little bit more color to that. I don't know exactly what it is that you're talking about.
In the House, the Prime Minister indicated that they were likely to take up the loan because they were previous projects that were in train. Wouldn't those previous projects already identify capital, or would those previous projects would have just been sitting in limbo without any identification of capital?
Sure, I think while the member does have some latitude in committee, which I think he rightly directed his questions initially around things like interest rate and loans. I believe now he's going a little bit outside of what we're here to discuss today. Not to say his questions aren't relevant for another space and time, but not for this supplemental budget exercise. So I would ask the member just to bear that.
Thank you, Chairman. I'm going to come back inside and ask my final question.
Where were you, member?
I was outside.
Where were you?
I was outside, so I'm going to come back inside. There was a correction made today with a movement from the Ministry of Education from 616 million to 2.31 billion, 2,316 million. Was that a correction of a mistake, or was that a conversation that they had post the PAAC?
Okay, remember we had provided a contingency for Melissa, and it was out of that that allocation was taken for the Ministry of Education. Once we determined what it is, they could spend during the financial year. We had to. It's a transfer of the funds, based on their assessment of their need.
You turned off your mic by mistake, Member Crawford? If you are finished, the next person is who has been waiting patiently.
Jamaica. Now we know, you see, that the pro-box argument, or that pro-box speaking on the national TV in recent times, it definitely never make any sense from the beginning. From the moment the argument formulates itself, or the idea forming in the head of the minister, it never make any sense, because totally now we are observing this parliament meeting and nothing makes any sense. You can't give a straight answer. You're not sure. People, is this person really the finance minister? Is this person really who was appointed the finance minister? I hear a lady, a previous lady, say some of these people should come out of the house, you know, because they have been ruling from 1962. Just saying. And it seems as if many of them don't realize that they should give the role to someone else. They should really step down and leave certain things, because definitely, I must say it again, they need to pack their bags. Some of these arguments are not, she's not sure on nothing. No, can we trust someone like that? Or can we trust the person that gave her that spot? Or that role? We can't trust even the person, because the person cannot even trust the person that they put in place. So it's a whole lot of mumbo jumbo. A whole lot of uncertainty. Everything is uncertain, my people. Nothing is sure. So you're going to gamble. This loan, this stressor that will be placed on our back for years is a gamble. It's a gamble. And you know, after what happened to a gambler, they become what? Pauper. They become what? Financially depleted. And I feel that's what we are getting set up for. I wish not that and fellow Jamaicans, but nothing is sure. People, Jamaica have bacteria in our governmental system, and we need some bleach and some Dettol or whatever, people, and some Fabuloso to sweet up our government, because this one that is in place, or this government, is a virus causing a glitch in Jamaica system. Yes, my people, they are causing a glitch. It's a bacteria. You know, sometimes you have to wipe your computer in order for it to free up. Yes, my people, we need to wipe this bacteria, this glitch from our governmental system. Yes, my people, definitely. I'm not going to hide about this one, because definitely these people are causing Jamaica trouble. Jamaica, they say Jamaica no problem, but I see Jamaica has more problem. Yes, and she states that they won't answer everything at once. You know, they won't take on all these questions at once. What do you mean by that? Questions are meant to be answered, and these questions are answers these questions needs answers. The Jamaican people want to hear, because those questions that are being asked, that Mr. Crawford put together there, is very critical, and I think it's in the interest of the people. The people are interested, and we hold you guys accountable for what? Transparency. So we want to hear everything. We need to hear. Why can't we hear? What are they holding back? I'm going to say this once again. I think if these people don't know what they're doing, they should come out and say that loud and clear, and pack up their bag and leave Jamaica business alone. Because it's either they don't care, they're lackadaisic, or something, or they're hiding something, but they need to leave. They need to pack up and go, my people. I think so. Definitely, it's a shame. A big disgrace. You can't answer some of these questions now. Wow. Nothing is sure. And everything. Why does the other lady has to be whispering to her? I understand that she might be her assistant or something, but yes. Okay. Oh yeah. But this, you should be fluent in your answers. You should already have everything prepared and ready to present to the people on national TV. Come on, man. Some of these people need to pack their bag and go. Just leave. Leave Jamaica alone. For you people, guys don't care about Jamaica. They don't business about Jamaica, or they are lapsing on Jamaica business. Some of them, they should just go. Look here, man. Look here, people. Watch her. Why everybody assist her with her role? Because to me, everybody whispering something in her ears as if she don't know anything. my people, I don't know, you know, but if age is off, I don't know how old she is, but if definitely if age is of some concern and cause her not to be serving her purpose as finance minister effectively, I think they need to change her role. I don't know, I'm just saying, my people. I'm just saying, because totally, I don't know if she never take the time out to put her things together. I don't know if when she reason, I don't feel if she reason with the IMF or the IFI. Definitely, it could not be. Because certainly she don't know. Uncertainty means you don't know. When you're certain, you come forth and you present or you say what was truly said or what is the agreement. And she can't say any of that. Now, this Mr. Green running in and saying that none of these questions are relevant to what we came here to talk about today. What does that mean? No, that's not how it goes. This is Jamaica business, and those questions, what is the most, since Hurricane Melissa and all this loan that wants to be borrowed, is the most relevant question right about now in Jamaica. Those questions needed answer by a lot of Jamaicans. Nothing no relevant right now like them question there, like wanting to put us in a loan. We are not donkeys, you know. You can't want to put a load on Jamaican people back. Well, if they take us for donkey, this donkey is gonna bray and ask them questions. Because you guys are yeah, they are putting loads on our back now, my people, and this man is gonna let us know that it is not relevant. Then if it wasn't relevant, I'm sure Mr. Crawford is not a fool. Why would Mr. Crawford craft up these questions? These questions are very relevant and very critical, and we can't get an answer. Everything, there is no answer for nothing. No, it comes like church when you're asking certain questions, and you know, there's an answer for nothing. So it's a blank world. Nothing can be answered. Just do as I say, but don't do as I do. So Jamaica, that's the type of mentality we're living under. That's the type of mentality it seems as if the government have, my people. I tell you, we have a virus. We definitely have a virus, my people. That's glitching our system, and that virus needs to be eradicated. People, I don't know how Jamaica is gonna manage, but I definitely stand plant. You get me, my people? Yes, people, you guys tune in and you hear some blah blah blah. You know, I wish you have heard something better. But you know, information is good, and it's good that you people watch to hear what's going on financially in your country. But we're hearing blah blah blah, my people. But anyway, please comment definitely what you think about these blah blah blahs in the comments section. Yes, my people, remember to like, share and subscribe, and stay tuned for more hot water, my people. Busmal Ryan.
Hot water channel, straight to the max. Bring the thing to the people then. Original generous speed. Same way. Man, big up hot water channel. Enough ice cream. Yeah, man. Big up yourself.